Now, we all know by now that Young Thug is in trouble. He got his ass in trouble because he actually couldn't stay off Twitter the other day. He was putting out what they would say is false information about the scooter case, along with calling out Marissa Viverito, who is an undercover gang investigator. He retweeted some posts that really pissed off the city of Atlanta, including Fani Willis. Now, Fani Willis is trying to revoke his probation.
Now to that Channel 2 Action News exclusive on rapper Young Thug. Tonight, the Fulton County District Attorney's Office filed a motion to revoke his probation. The rapper was released on bond last November. We broke the story on WSBTV.com around 8:30 tonight. And Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie joins us now live from the newsroom. Mark, the DA spoke exclusively to you about this motion.
Yeah, this concern.
Hey, Mark said, y'all gonna see this chain today. So he just left his button up wide the F open. He just going against all the dress code rules. He said, fuck it, man. You know how much I spent on this?
The YSL gang racketeering conspiracy case. Last year, DA Fani Willis suggested to us the sentence for rap superstar Young Thug, real name Jeffrey Williams, that let him hit the street the night he pled guilty or nolo contendere to all charges he faced, was a sentence which could send him to prison for years if he crossed the wrong line. Now this.
If your motion is successful, Young Thug would go to prison.
He could.
A new and dramatic verse in the case surrounding music star Young Thug, real name Jeffrey Williams. A motion from prosecutors at the Fulton County District Attorney's Office to revoke Williams' probation. It says, quote, since sentencing, the defendant has engaged in conduct that directly threatens the safety of witnesses and prosecutors, compromises ongoing legal proceedings, and warrants immediate revocation of probation. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis.
What our motion is concerned about is that we certainly believe that his post was to threaten law enforcement, which is all part of gang activity.
Jeffrey Williams' attorney Brian Steele told me by phone it is never appropriate to be engaged in any type of witness intimidation. It is never appropriate to threaten to murder another person. The prosecution's motion to revoke Jeffrey's probation should not be well received and should be swiftly rejected. It is irresponsible to file a motion of this sort when Jeffrey has done absolutely nothing, Steele said, to violate any condition of probation or threaten a witness.
We know that it is clear to Mr. Williams that the intent of the district attorney is to stop gang activity in Fulton County, Georgia. We believe the judge's order is clear and that this is an intentional violation.
The motion says investigator Marissa Viverito is currently testifying in a gang murder hearing and indicates a judge ordered the witness not be shown on TV while testifying, but that a blogger posted on social media she doesn't want to be shown on screen. Well, here she is, along with a photo of the investigator. The motion says on Tuesday, Young Thug reposted the image, and the post went viral, amassing more than 2 million views. The motion says Viverito's home address and her parents' home address were publicly posted, exposing them to grave danger, and that hours later, an additional post emerged threatening the assassination of DA Willis. The motion alleges Williams' continued association with individuals actively involved in witness intimidation, threats of violence, and obstruction of justice constitutes a clear violation of probation conditions. Last year, Ms. Willis suggested to us there was room for accountability in Young Thug's complicated sentence involving 5 years commuted time served, followed by 15 years probation, to be followed by a, quote, backloaded 20-year prison term, which would also be commuted to time served if he successfully completes the probation, which was loaded with lots of special conditions. I expect, Wendy, a courtroom fight over this one. Reporting live in the newsroom, Mark Winnie, WSB Tonight.
And we know that you'll be covering that for us, Mark. Thank you for that.
Now, Young Thug would unveil the face of gang investigator Marissa Viverito via retweet, and his rabid fan base would then have the information that they needed. He would also call her the biggest liar in the DA's office. And to the city of Atlanta and the DA's office, they would feel that being that he's retweeting and reposting these things, that he's pushing his rabid fan base to inflict danger, because not only would Fani Willis' address be put out there, they would be putting out Miss Viverito's as well. They would also find Miss Viverito's family, her parents' house. They would post her house, post the address, and basically encourage violence. Now, this wasn't Young Thug's page, but they're saying because Young Thug retweeted that, he put the battery in their backs to do this. And somebody has to take the blame for this, and they're pointing at Young Thug. Also, on top of that, you can't say that he didn't put a sour taste in the Fulton County Medical Examiner's mouth, as well as just the city of Atlanta, when he put out false information insinuating that the police are the one that shot young Scooter. You see, the police in the city of Atlanta's Twitter page had to debunk what Mr. Jeffrey Williams said, as well as rush out the Fulton County Medical Examiner autopsy report saying that young Scooter did indeed get punctured by a fence, and he bled out because an artery was the puncture on his leg. Now, the motion would say on October 31st, 2024, the defendant Jeffrey Williams was sentenced to probation with the condition that includes no contact with the victims and the victim's family. The defendant pled guilty, and the conditions of the probation was imposed pursuant to OCGA 42835, which authorizes courts to establish and enforce conditions necessary to protect the public and uphold the administration of justice. Since sentencing, the defendant has engaged in conduct that directly threatens the safety of witnesses and prosecutors, compromises ongoing legal proceedings, and warrants immediate revocation of probation. Investigator Marissa Viverito is currently testifying in a multi-defendant gang murder preliminary hearing, which remains ongoing and is set to reconvene on Monday, April 7, 2025. During this hearing, the court explicitly ordered that the witness not be shown on television while testifying. Despite this order, a known blogger deliberately violated the court's directive by posting on social media she doesn't want to be shown on screen. Well, here she is, along with a photograph of investigator Viverito. Now, in my personal opinion, overall, I don't think Young Thug did enough to violate his probation. As you see what they said, it was another person who put out the picture of Viverito, and Young Thug, I don't think that he's did anything against the law for retweeting this. But I do think that Young Thug is still an imbecile. I think that Young Thug should not have any type of social media. I think the only time he should have posts on his social media pages is if it has anything to do with his music, his shows, or giving back to the community. And that needs to be ran by somebody else, because Young Thug has already proven to us that he can't control himself when it comes to Twitter. He already went at Gunna. And people are documenting the things that he's doing, and eventually you're gonna mess up just enough for them to take you into prison. If they don't do it this time, now the judge has to make the decision, and I think personally the judge will give a stern warning, maybe tighten up some things on his probation. Hell, they might tell him he can't use social media. I'm not too sure, but whatever he gets, besides maybe prison time, in my personal opinion, I think rightfully so, he just earned it. I think Thug thinks that these people are playing with him because he's out of town, that he can't be the one that's doing anything. You see, he put up a post trying to clean things up, but it's too late. You already messed up, bruh. Now, Young Thug would try to clean it all up by saying, I don't make treats. I think he meant threats. So I don't make threats to people. I'm a good person. I would never condone anyone threatening anyone, or definitely participate in threatening anyone. It's all about peace and love. This dude said he would never threaten anybody. This is the same guy I saw tell Lucci, man, the only reason I ain't killed you yet is because I like what you do for your kids, openly on the internet. But, sometimes, maybe people change. But I do think that you got to stay off that internet, Thug. It is what it is. So y'all let me know down below. How do y'all feel about this situation? Is it whatever happened to Thug because, hey, he shouldn't have did what he did? Do y'all think that he should be let off, with a stern warning, maybe, a little bit of consequences? Or do you think, hey, I don't give a goddamn? Y'all let me know what y'all think down below, man, in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, comment. We out, baby. Boom.
It's him.